The moon hung low in the night sky as I stood before the imposing facade of Hollowbrook Medical Center. The hospital had always been a place of whispers and rumors, and tonight, I was determined to uncover the truth. Armed with a sense of morbid curiosity, I entered the building and made my way through its dimly lit halls. The morgue was my destination, a place that held the darkest secrets of the hospital. The sterile smell of disinfectant filled the air as I pushed open the heavy door. The room was cold and dimly lit, with rows of steel tables standing like silent sentinels. My heart raced as I approached the first table, a body covered by a white sheet. With trembling hands, I pulled back the cover and revealed the lifeless form beneath. The body was that of a young woman, her face frozen in a mask of terror. It was clear that her death had been sudden and violent. As I moved further into the morgue, I uncovered more bodies, each one bearing the marks of a gruesome demise. It was as if the hospital had become a breeding ground for tragedy and despair. I couldn't help but wonder what had happened within these walls. My flashlight's beam danced over a series of drawers, each one holding the remains of the deceased. I pulled open a drawer at random and gasped in horror. Inside was a body that defied explanation, a grotesque fusion of human and animal, its limbs contorted and its flesh mauled with strange, otherworldly markings. The room seemed to close in around me as I stumbled back, my mind reeling with terror. It was then that I heard it, the faint, haunting sound of laughter echoing through the morgue. I followed the sound, my flashlight's beam cutting through the darkness. The laughter led me to a small, windowless chamber hidden at the back of the morgue. Inside, I found a series of journals, their pages filled with handwritten entries chronicling bizarre experiments and unholy rituals. The author, a deranged doctor named Elias Hawthorne, had become obsessed with merging the realms of life and death. As I read further, I uncovered the truth. The hospital had become a breeding ground for Dr. Hawthorne's twisted experiments, and the patients had been unwilling subjects. The grotesque amalgamations I had seen were the results of his sinister work. The laughter grew louder, and I realized it was coming from a hidden chamber beneath the morgue. I descended a narrow staircase and found myself in a subterranean chamber filled with arcane symbols and relics related to Dr. Hawthorne's experiments. In the center of the room stood a portal, a gateway to a nightmarish realm where life and death were one. With mounting dread, I realized that Dr. Hawthorne's experiments had not been in vain. The portal had been opened, and a malevolent force had been unleashed upon the hospital. The laughter grew louder, more sinister, as the entity drew closer. Desperation gripped me as I realized that I had to close the portal and put an end to the madness. With trembling hands, I recited an incantation I found in Dr. Hawthorne's journals, hoping to reverse the dark magic that had been wrought. As I spoke the final words, the room trembled, and the portal began to collapse in on itself. The malevolent force let out a deafening wail, a chorus of agony and rage. With a blinding flash of light, the portal was sealed, and the morgue returned to its cold, silent state. As I left the hospital, I couldn't help but wonder about the mysteries that still lingered within its walls. The secrets of the morgue had come to an end, but the enigma of Dr. Hawthorne's experiments and the malevolent force that had been unleashed would remain an unsolved riddle, a story that would continue to haunt my thoughts and fuel my fascination with the supernatural.